In this video, we are going to talk about results of your quantitative study. Basically, this is how to write or present your results in Chapter 3 of your research paper. Okay, so, ito yung itsura ng Chapter 3. This is only for the first variable, the first part, first 2 pages ng Chapter 3. So, andito yung intro statement natin for Chapter 3. Ano ba yung nakapaloob ng, sa Chapter 3 mismo? Dito yan, nakastate sa intro statement. And, of course, yung level ng variable 1 natin. And, yung table 1. So, it is expected that when you start writing Chapter 3, dapat meron ka ng yung tables mo. Table 1 that contains the results of your first variable. Table 2 containing the results of your second variable. Okay? Pag meron ka nung dalawang yun, at saka yung mga appended tables, yung results for each indicators. Yung table 1.1, nasa appendices kasi yan, kaya ang tawag sa kanila appended tables, no? Yung table 1.2, kasi dito sa example, may 4 na indicator, so it is expected that you have 4 appended tables. So, 1.1 for the first indicator, 1.2 for the second indicator, 1.3 for the third, and 1.4 for the fourth indicator. Okay? And also the appended tables for your table 2, yung sa second variable naman, depending on the number of your indicators. Okay? And so, let's discuss one by one. Ano ba yung nakapaloob sa intro statement, how to present your results in your first variable, and also for your second variable. Yung sa correlation naman, that would be in another video. Okay, the intro statement. So, unang-una yung chapter 3, ganitong format niya. Ayan, results should be all capital letters or uppercase and nakabold silang dalawa. So, this part of the paper presents the data and analysis of findings obtained from the responses in the questionnaire based on the research objectives presented in the first chapter of this paper. So, ang result, the way na i-present dito, yung result is based on the research objectives. So, sa research objectives, unang-una, objective 1, that would be the level of your first variable. So, expected na yung unang result na i-present mo would be the level of your first variable. The second objective is about the level of your second variable. So, expected that in your results part, the second part of your results should be the level of your second variable. And also, the third part would be about your third research objective, which is on the relationship of your two variables. Okay, so the discussion of the topic is arranged in the following order. So, ayan, level of your first variable, colon, level of your second variable, colon, and the word and. Hindi pwede dito yung ampersand symbol na for and, ha? It should be the word and relationship between your first variable and your second variable. So, ganyan lang ang intro statement natin. And remember, when you mention your variable at saka yung indicator, it should be in italics. Okay? Notice, naka-italics yan. This is the first variable. The second variable is also in italics. Okay? Naka-italicized. Next, your first variable. How are you going to present the results on your first variable? So, presentation of the results should have the following. Unang-una, the overall findings first. Okay? Overall findings first. Makikita ito sa table 1. And then, followed by the enumeration of indicators, mean scores, from highest to lowest. Kaya nga, yung entry sa table 1 at saka table 2, in-arrange yan from highest to lowest based on means. Highest mean, dapat nauna, followed by yung may second highest mean and down to the lowest mean. Okay? And then, results per indicators with the highest down to the lowest mean with reference with the respective appended tables. So, first paragraph about the overall findings of the variable. Second paragraph would be about the overall or the total mean score per indicator. Okay? The third and the following paragraphs should be presenting the results of your appended table. Per indicator na siya. Results per indicator. And mauna dapat yung highest, yung indicator na may highest mean. So, siya dapat yung maunang i-present. Okay, down to the lowest mean. So, paano ba yan? Ito siya. So, this is your subtitle. Ano ba? Subtopic. Okay, level of emotional intelligence or level of your first variable. Ito yung parang last line ng intro statement yan. Okay? And immediately after that, naka-bold, okay, yung level ng first variable. Right? And this is the first paragraph of your first variable. So, dito, i-discuss yung overall results. Yung overall results coming from your table 1. Sa table 1, ito yan, yung first paragraph. Right? So, yung mean is 4.06, yung descriptive level, at saka yung standard deviation. Yan yung kukunin natin, i-represent natin for the first paragraph. So, going back here, the first objective of the study was to determine the level of your first variable of the senior high school students. It was revealed in Table 1. So, Table 1, since dito sa paragraph na ito, you have introduced Table 1, it is expected that this Table 1 itself should be at the topmost part of the next page mentioning Table 1. Okay, halimbawa, ano ba ibig sabihin ko dyan? This is ito yung paragraph na nag-mention ng Table 1. See this? Table 1. Ito yung page na yan. Now, it is expected that on the next page, sa page 2, dito na page. So, andito yung Table 1 natin. It should be at the topmost part of the page. Okay? Topmost part. Walang kahit na isang sentence sa taas ng title na Table 1. So, topmost part of the next page. Kasi, again, dito siya naka-mention na introduce ang Table 1. On the next page, nasa top dapat. Topmost part yung Table 1. Alright. Sige, balik tayo. So, it was revealed in Table 1 that the level of emotional intelligence got an overall mean score of 4.06. Ayan, eto na siya. With a standard deviation of 0.77. Okay, na-present mo na yung result. And then, the mean score was described as high level. Eto siya, high level. Take note that it should be with a capital. Yung first letter ng descriptive level should be a capital letter, uppercase. Okay? And yung word na level, normal lang siya. And naka-italics, no? Italicized yung descriptive level. So, as high level, which means that, ano ba ibig sabihin ng high level? Which means that emotional intelligence was oftentimes manifested. Saan kinuha ito? You have to base it in your range of means. Saan ba yan? Ito yung range of means. No? Galing dun sa chapter 2, diba? Under research instrument. So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng high? Interpretation tayo ng high. This means that the emotional intelligence is oftentimes manifested. So, dito siya galing. So, if your descriptive level is very high, so ito yung gagamitin. Always manifested. If it's very low, ito naman. Okay? Balik tayo. Which means that emotional intelligence was oftentimes manifested. And the standard deviation conveyed that the responses of the students were close to the mean, indicating consistent homogeneous responses in all items in the questionnaire. So, saan galing ito? Sa standard deviation class, okay, ito yung standard deviation, 0.77. Ano bang meaning yan? Ito ang tandaan natin, when the standard deviation is less than 1, meaning the responses are close to the mean, indicating that the responses are homogeneous. Ibig sabihin, halos pare-pareho yung sagot ng mga respondents. Halimbawa, for Likert scale kasi tayo, 1 to 5, and the mean is 4. When the standard deviation is less than 1, just like this one, 0.77, we can imagine that the scores, we can conclude that the scores are close to 4. So, maraming 4 ang sagot sa mga items sa questionnaire na ito. Maraming 4. In this specific na part ng questionnaire, no? Maraming 4 ang sagot. Siguro may konting 3 or may konting 5. Okay? But most of the responses are 4. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng standard deviation na less than 1. So, when the standard deviation is greater or equal to 1, the responses are not close to the mean, indicating that the responses are varied. No? Varied sila. Ibig sabihin, iba-iba. Halimbawa, eto, 4.06. Pero yung standard deviation, let's say 1 point something. No? 1 point something. Meaning, medyo maraming ang nag-4 yung response, pero may sumagot din ng 1, which is very far from 4. No? May sumagot din ng 2, which is very far from 4. So, varied. Iba-iba yung mga sagot nila. Siguro meron ding nag-5. Di kaya meron ding nag-3. So, paiba-iba. Okay? So, in this case, hindi homogeneous yung responses. Again, yun ang how we interpret the standard deviations. Okay. Sige, balik tayo. So, ayan na yung first paragraph natin under variable 1. Next on this paragraph, next to that paragraph, is yung per indicator naman. So, looking at the data per indicator, it can be seen that expectations got the highest mean rating of 3.79, which is followed by support with a mean rating of 3.55. Actually, ito class, nasabi ko na kanina, yung second paragraph, yung results na yung result na dito sa table 1, isa-isahin mo na yung indicators, yung result ng indicators, highest to lowest. So, since naka-arrange na naman yung sa table 1 mo, ayan na, expectation, ito yung mean, anong descriptive level ng mean, ano ibig sabihin ng high, tapos, ano yung standard deviation. Okay? Depende sa iyo kung paano mo i-state yan. Okay? Depende sa iyo kung paano mo i-state. As long as, yung gusto nating mangyari is that, i-present mo yung result from highest to lowest. Okay? So, eto siya. Ang ginawa dito, class, since high naman itong tatlo, so, parang inisa na lang sila, no? As one, tapos, individual kung in-state kung ano yung mean ng bawat isa, and then, as together, high silang lahat, and then, yung standard deviation nila. Okay? Eto, basahin natin. Expectations get the highest mean rating of 3.79, which is followed by support with a mean rating of 3.55, and peer social climate with a mean rating of 3.41. Take note, kung mapapansin ninyo, hindi naman sinabi dito na hindi nila keep yung high level, no? Pwede naman kasi 3.79, which or high level, 3.55 or high level, 3.41 or high level, pwede namang ganyan, depende sa inyo. Pero para hindi masyadong monotonous pakinggan, ang ginawa ko, present ko muna yung mga mean nila, and since silang lahat ay high level naman, so inisa ko na lang. So, all of these 3 indicators have mean ratings described as high level. Okay, pwede yan. Finally, yung school climate got a mean rating of 3.35, which is in moderate level. The table also reveals the standard deviations of the indicators, which range from 0.49 to 0.63. Yung standard deviation naman, yung the way na pag-present ko dito sa standard deviation, isa na lang din. So, from yung lowest na standard deviation, 0.49, and then yung highest na standard deviation, 0.63. Kasi lahat naman sila is less than 1, kaya pareho yung interpretation. Now, all of which imply that ratings obtained from the study are very close to the mean, indicating consistency of responses of the participants. In cases na yung standard deviations mo ay may greater than 1, pwede namang i-separate mo yung presentation ng standard deviation na may na greater than 1. Kasi iba yung interpretation.